Here's where to find some government seized property and houses, deeply, deeply discounted. We're going to do this together so you can follow along at home. These are properties available now. Sometimes these properties are hundreds of thousands of dollars below market value. And I know people love to tune in and just see examples of where this stuff is so that you can go and have a shot at buying these in an unconventional way. So that is the name of the game. Everybody's always asking for just keep showing real examples of properties that are available now. So the name of the game that we're after here today is to find some cheap government seized houses way below market value that you guys can go make money on. And as you know, that is the name of the game that we're after here, whether it's buying a government seized cheap tax deed property for as little as 50 bucks, which happens, whether or not you want to make and earn up to 36% interest through tax lien certificates. What we do on this channel is we buy real estate. We find real estate that is way off market value, and everybody's tuned in. So we're going to go ask some questions if you have questions in the comments, and we're going to have a great time. So if you guys are tuning in, if you're new to the channel, I'm Dustin Hahn, and what we do here is we go live. We have videos, either we're going live or making videos showing you guys and gals and whoever's watching how to find stellar deals on real estate so that you can crack into the real estate game and use this business to escape velocity, whether it's out of your 9-to-5 job or creating a legacy income for yourself through rentals. Because as we know, with inflation, everything in the world, it's getting harder and harder for the average person to get into real estate. So that's why this is here. 21 years ago, when I first found out about this business, I honestly didn't even believe it was real. It was the same thing of like, oh, if this is so good to be true, then why isn't everybody doing it? If it's so easy, why doesn't everybody do it? Or someone's like, oh, if it works so good, why are you teaching it? Why are you teaching it online? And I'll give you a couple quick answers to that. So first off, when I got into it, I didn't believe it was real. I was watching VHS tapes on the internet. Someone saying, is this actually live? Yes, it is. We are actually live right now. You can ask some questions. If you're watching the replay, ask a question in the comments. And a lot of people like, Dustin, why, if it works so good, why do you teach it? It's pretty simple as far as getting into it. Like when I got into this stuff, I literally was putting all my notes down and people just started to offer to have me come speak. So I put it into a book, which is free here in the description that everybody can get. And from there, man, my network grows drastically. I team up with a lot of people who watch this channel. We do deals together. It's a win-win. I give you guys information for free. You can go use this stuff. You can get the description or the book in the description. And then from there, we don't ever have to do business together. There's tons of people I watch online that I don't do business together, but have helped me make lots of money. So however you want to consume this content, we're here for you to help you out. So let's crack into it. Let's get going. Remember, if you like this stuff, do me a favor, guys, thumbs up, subscribe, ask a question in the comments. Would love to hear from you here today. So what we're going to do is we want to go ahead and yes, I will be asking or answering questions as we go here. So check this out. I have $1,000 to start. Where should I go? What should I do? So we're going to get into that here today. Ask your questions, guys. Would love to hear from you. Is it better to purchase properties in your own name or an LLC or a trust? So first off, as you know, I'm not a lawyer or an accountant or anything like that. However, for the average person, it's better to just get started. I've seen so many people with paralysis by analysis of like, yeah, I want to get going, but I just don't know what to name my LLC. So for the average person, you're better to just get started. You can always transfer the property into the name of the LLC when you get started. Actually, funny story. When I was just a young man years and years ago, I was buying property in my own name, and I'm like, you know what? I'm going to set up an LLC. So my friend and I were like, oh, we're Darren and Dustin. So we bought this property. And when I won the bid, I put down the name Decor because that was an LLC we were going to start. Think about it. This is 21 years ago. And I thought I could just go and form the LLC in the name I bought it. And little did I know it doesn't quite work like that, because then you could go open like Apple LLC and then be like, I own Apple, right? So there's more to it than that. So coming back to your question, just get started, okay? And then from there, it just depends so much on what your long-term wealth goals are. whether you need to do an LLC or a trust. But when you start making money, you want to protect your assets in case somebody slips and falls on the property or you get sued and stuff like that. LLC, limited liability company, to limit the liability. Now, if you're a very high net worth investor or individual and you own all your assets in your own name, millions of dollars in real estate, then maybe you want to get an LLC right off the gate. And first off, you should definitely be contacting somebody for expert advice, because you shouldn't have that stuff in your name, as you are very exposed, and you will be, mouth watering to a lawyer if somebody slips on your property and they're a professional athlete or something like that, right? So let's get going here. Super tip for everybody here, actually, that I want to share is, so one of the things that I do to focus on business is I use this app on my phone. It's called Opal, and I actually block social media so that I can focus on this stuff. So that's an Opal app. I just unblocked it on my computer. So let's go. Let's find some property here. And I always like to keep an eye on properties that are coming up for auction. Okay, so I'm going to share my screen right now, and bear with me because I'm going to be checking back and forth between the screen and this. So you guys are going to see this this infinite doom of here we go, share screen. Here we are sharing the screen. Okay, boom. So I'm going to be checking back and forth because for whatever reason the internet or the grand simulation of the entire world seems to glitch when I go live, and sometimes I lose the sound. And people are like, "Oh, I just went a couple minutes and I couldn't hear from you." Okay, and I'm going to be checking back and forth. So what we're going to do, I'm going to share the screen. I'm going to check back and forth. It's going to be a good time. Folks really love this stuff. I see lots of questions coming in, actually. Let's see. I'm just going to do a quick question here for the folks that are here. And once again, welcome everybody. Appreciate it. Let's see here. Man, super, super cool image you have here. Dustin found an apartment complex in Texas, was trying to share the info with you, but it said incorrect email. If you email hello@taxliencertificateschool.com or dustin@dustinhahn.net, send that to me right now. And someone was saying before, it's like, Dustin, if this stuff works so good, why are you teaching it? Well, this is exactly why. I team up with people. So if you have an apartment complex, it's a good deal. That's something that I might be interested in buying. Okay, so that's why I do this as well, right? And then from there, it does help a lot of people create wealth. And I know that one of the best ways for you to have an impact is to make yourself healthy and wealthy so you can give to your church and do that sort of stuff. So yeah, if you go, actually, let me pull up here, dustinhahn.net. I'm going to pull it up here for you really quickly here. And boom, let's see. So I'm going to share my screen, and here we go. Let's go, guys. Let's get some deals. I'm just going to pull this off. So we're going to find some property. But if you guys ever want to reach out to me or contact me, all you need to do is come over here to, where do we go? dustinhahn.net under the contact page. All right. Here's my email, dustin@dustinhahn.net. So send an email there and just say, sorry on the live stream. And then I would love to. So, here's some testimonials from folks that have bought these properties, and I'm not, this is unprompted, but there's lots of testimonials here going back years of folks buying property with this information. So today, what we're doing though, is we're looking for some seized properties. And I really like this site. This is Government Seized Auctions. Okay. We're here right now. And a lot of these properties, when you're like watching that drug bust show, or, maybe the bad guy owns lots and lots of properties, and you think to yourself, whatever happened to that? What happens to those properties? Well, they end up a lot of the times on these sites. And the thing is you can find some stellar deals. Like we had a guy comment, I don't know, like a couple weeks ago or a month ago. He said, yeah, I thought this wasn't legit. And then I went and there was a property that sold for 70 grand at a Florida sale that was worth $500,000. And totally awesome. And he checked it out. And then I checked it as far as the address and the title, and it was legit. So guys, you should be keeping an eye on these government auction sales, because some of these are super good. So right now we're on treasury.gov. Okay. So we're on treasury.gov, and I want to see what's coming up. I want to keep an eye on this stuff because you as an investor, you want to keep pulse on this. Think of all of the random stuff that you keep an eye on, whether it's like Netflix or sports or world news that doesn't have a lot to do with you, all that sort of stuff. Man, put 5-10% of that energy into keeping an eye on auctions and then taking action, and you can and will become wealthy in this business. So let's check this thing out. Oh, this one is happening actually this week. Okay. So I want to check this out. Waterfront property. What's going on here in Florida? Now, the thing is, this one is pretty close. However, check this out. Okay. Single family home in Miami, but I do like what I'm seeing. However, there is a pretty big pay to play here. You need to have a deposit of $50,000, but I am expecting that this thing is worth quite a bit more. And bear with me, guys, as I float back to this screen, because every now and then the sound cuts out and people are like, we can't hear you. So then I feel bad. So we're coming back here right now to this property. We're going to see what's going on. And, you know, we're not going to use like rocket appliances here to get the data. Like Zillow provides some decent data on this sort of stuff. We're going to pop over here, 102 11th. Oh, it actually shows up. So check this out. So this thing is coming in here at 1.1 million is the estimated value on this property. Okay. So something like that definitely interests me as we come over here. But a couple key things to note, right? The deposit is $50,000. Now that would be refundable if you don't get the thing or if you don't get the property. Starting bid, $200,000. All right. We want to view the terms of the sale. Now, guys, if you're watching this, I know this isn't probably your average investor, your average newbie getting into the business probably won't go for this. However, what I can assure you is if you guys follow along with the stuff that I teach, the whole premise of the channel is to show you how to start with like little to no money. Like Tax Liens and Deeds are one of the only games out here where you can buy property for as little as $50, right? And that's why I give everybody the book. The book, I've bought property for $50. You have all of the answers, all of the sheets and questionnaires, and the directory. So if you're seeing this 200K property, in the description below will be a link where you guys can get that. You know, you'll come over here and you'll just land on this page, enter your name, email. There's nothing for sale there. Grab it. It's free. It'll help you out. The link is in the description. So here we go. We're going to look at this thing a little bit further. So we want to get familiar with the terms of sale. And the reason I say start small, start flipping, and you can work your way up into this thing. So starting bid is 200 grand. And if it's worth $1 million, you know, just one of these deals can be life-changing once you get into it. Let me come over here right now. We'll check this out. So yeah, it's on Zillow for, you know, 1.1 is what the estimated value is on this thing. And what we want to do is just take a quick look at the Google Streets here, see what's going on, see what's on the streets, these mean streets of Florida. We want to see what's going on here, right? So like clearly a very nice neighborhood. This is something that I'm very interested in. Now, the dilemma that we're facing here right now is the fact that this auction is coming up in just a couple days, right? So for most of you guys watching, you might not have the experience to take a swing at this because the auction's happening right away. We want to find auctions that are a little further out, which we're going to do here as we continue on our beautiful journey here today. However, here's what's fun about these government seized properties is you can go, you can inspect them, you can look at them, right? So we have the inspection. Let's see, your property inspection would be Friday, August 23rd. So the inspection actually already happened. But the important thing is you can come over here, you can find the details, you can book appointments. Very cool. Pool looks good. Let's see, you can book an appointment. Okay, yeah. So there's lots of details here on this property. We have the auction flyer for this property as well, which gives us more details. So this stuff is super fun. It is super fun to get into this business, and something like this, man, here's what's wild and what's cool. Okay. And we're going to try to find some cheaper ones that you guys can go after. These types of deals just one of these deals can change your life. So a property like this, $1 million, let's be real in the sense there's a couple probabilities that can happen. Probability one is it gets bid up beyond market value, right? So it gets bid up beyond market value, and folks will go to one auction. They'll see stuff. Yeah, this business is crap. I went to a sale. Everything got bid up. And then they're sad and they're butthurt. And they come back here and then they complain, you know? However, this is a game of like, if you're either consistent or you're non-existent in this business. So what I mean by that is if you want, you know, just fish in a barrel at any given time that you can just go and scoop with a big fish net, then you can go on Zillow, you can talk to a realtor, you can pay full price all day long. But that's not my game, okay? My game is I want cheap property, you know, 70, 80, 90% below market value on average. And you know what? Sometimes I'll go to 3 or 4 or 5 of these sales and I won't get anything. And that's okay because I know that the odds always come around in my favor. There's been plenty of times where I've went to these sales many times, and sure, it gets annoying because you put in some resources, some time, some effort, and then you're futuring like, oh man, opening bid on this thing's 10 grand, it's worth 200. You know, if I can get it for 50, I'm going to make 100 grand. And, you know, your mind starts buying things, right? I call it futuring. And then sometimes your future doesn't come. However, stick with it and it can happen, but you guys have to take action. Like when you watch this video, go watch some more of these other videos. But the key thing is to take action and actually start doing it. So I just want to take a few questions that are coming in and let's see. Awesome. Appreciate the email sending me a deal. So we'll look that over. Okay. Let's see here. So we got some properties. Here we are. Dustin, after looking at the videos, not clear about title. If there's a list of 50 properties, do we need to check them all? There are only 3 left the day of the auction. So this is a good point. Depending on the auction, remember, this is also a business of human nature. Big mistake to avoid. Never travel. Like if you're going to hop on an airplane, don't go to any auction that has less than like 80 to 100 properties. Because what happens is I've seen people fly across the country to an auction that has 7 properties and they all redeem while they're at the airport or while they're in the air and they land. Now, that being said, it's not quite a total waste because all of these trips are tax deductible if you set it up right and talk to your accountant. However, if you're going to travel to one of these auctions, and I'm not saying that you need to, back in the day, you'd always have to travel. But if you are going to, make sure there's, 50 to 100 properties, because the day of the auction, 80 to 90% of them will redeem the day of, because it's human nature. It's human nature. I leave things till the very, very last minute every single time. Like, for example, I have a bet going. So for me, I got to get to the gym 3-4 days a week. And I know that if I don't put some money on the line or accountability, I won't go. So what I do is I leave it to the last minute. And the one of the things that I despise in this world is onions. And I know people love onions and they make flavor and this and that, but my whole life I've hated onions. Okay. Like I really don't like them. Like they give me just gross me out. So if I don't make it to the gym by a specific time, it's normally 4 p.m. and post a picture, what I have to do is take a video of myself and take a big bite of a raw onion like an apple and eat it. And just the thought of that disgusts me so much that I get to the gym and fulfill. So use some sort of motivation, however you need to trick yourself or trick the system to get into this and make it happen. It's all here for you, Once again, if you're tuning in, Dustin here, do me a favor, guys, hit the thumbs up on this video if you're watching. If you like it, if you're still here, hit the thumbs up. If you're new, subscribe. I do my best to try to help everybody get into the business, get into the game. It's here for you. The dollar, our cash is turning to trash as we see. There's lots of turmoil in the world right now. I'm loading up on hard assets like real estate, and I suggest you guys do as well. And that's what we are here to do. And just once again, in the description, everybody can get the free book to get you started, which has all the checklists and questionnaires that is below in the description. So let's go back. Let's take some more looks at some properties that are coming up. And once again, with this screen, I'm going to be popping back and forth because every now and then, for whatever reason, the internet glitches and I lose my sound, and then we don't like that, right? So we're going to come back here. Once again, in the description, you'll just end up on this page. Just enter your email. You guys will get the book for free. There's nothing to sell there. So we're going to come back here, and I'm going to close this one up. I'm going to give you some examples here. There's that contact information. And if you guys ever forget where stuff is, you can just go to dustinhahn.net, and we have everything here that you need to know about. Okay. So we're going to close this. We're coming back here. Oh, remember, the street view is generally often a couple years old. Okay. So number one rule, and you can do this stuff remotely now, but you need updated photos of the property, right? Because maybe a hurricane blew through and wrecked this thing. I've seen so many people lose their butt because they just go off these pictures. Use something like wegolook.com or Airtasker. Get somebody to go look. But let's look at some auctions that are coming up on things that could be appealing. All right. So let's check this one out. It's coming up in the next couple weeks. So we're just going to come over here. We're just going to open it. And remember, guys, this is kind of the day in the life of doing this business. Okay. So this one is pretty high. Starting bid of 450. I don't know. That seems kind of out to lunch to me. But, you know, because we're an investor, we just want to see what's going on. Maybe it's worth double that. And for some folks, 50% of market value is okay. 1.5. So that's not bad. That's not bad. But once again, it depends on your situation and your circumstance, right? So like if you have $500,000 or $1 million in the bank that isn't, you know, making you money, this could be a good one. You could make, you know, 700-800 grand on things like this. Remember, this business of tax liens and deeds is like stepping stones. Okay. So it is stepping stones as far as getting into it. So some of you guys could jump right to this property. You know, there's times where we have, you know, $500,000, $1 million in the bank, and we'll pay half of market value for something. And I know like, oh, wait, that's not 90% off. But if it's a good, clean property, then yeah, you know, somebody could make $1 million on this thing if they have the money to pay to play. However, what we want is something cheaper for the average person here watching today. So we're going to continue on our journey and try to find some cheap stuff here. So check this out. Let's see. We have a condo unit in this building. Let's see. Second floor. Condos are okay. Let's see. Where are we at here? Okay. This one, starting bid, $50,000, $10,000 deposit. We can come here. We want to see what these condos are going for. So that's not too bad as far as let's see what this thing is worth. Let's see. So we have a condo. We're going to come down here and just take a quick little peek. Let me check my sound again. Murphy's Law says the sound will cut out whenever you go live, as this is the internet. And Murphy's Law, I don't know about you guys, but Murphy's Law is always haunting me. Whenever I don't do something, it fails. Okay, check this out. So this one is here, 268. So, right? I would probably bid on this, you know, if cash is flowing and you have it there. So remember, it's about where your starting point is, right? Guys, think about this stuff as a buffet, okay? So think about it as a buffet in the sense of we have this big buffet of food and everybody has their own tastes, which comes down to like your location, your budget, what you're comfortable doing, you know, your starting point. But on this table, there's food for everybody to make money in this game. Maybe you're at the back of the buffet where there's just like ramen that's super cheap, but you can get started. Like you can buy these properties sometimes for as little as $50, which is totally awesome. Maybe you flip it for $500-$600, but then you keep rolling it over. I gave the example. One of the students in our programs came in. She's like, yeah, I bought this property for $700. The next day I sold it for $1,500 to the neighbor, which is great. So guys, if you're tuning in, do me a favor, hit the thumbs up, subscribe if you like this sort of stuff. Let's see. I just realized I didn't fully answer this question from Simon. Let's see. There was only 3 left. So guys, one of the key things on these properties is you have to check title, especially like when it's a tax deed auction where it's going up. The big thing, the cool thing about a tax deed auction is that it wipes out the mortgage, right? Which is very cool. It wipes out the mortgage. However, always be careful, because the reason we want to check title is to make sure there isn't any like municipal liens on that property. So the county is not big fans of wiping themselves out. So for example, if there's 5,000 in taxes, we had an example last week where there was like $50,000 in like the lawn mowed, meaning the county had been mowing the lawn and just racking it up. So like they're not going to wipe themselves out. So you want to make sure there's no municipal liens on that. Now, as far as checking title, like in this situation here, where there's 50 properties, but then there's only 3 left the day of, I would probably do like a preliminary quick title search and then see what's going on. And as you grow this stuff, one of the things is you can hire a virtual assistant, whether they're in India or the Philippines, to really leverage the power of the value of the dollar. Like $1 here can be worth, up to $20 over there. So many times we'll have a team of virtual assistants doing our title research for us to just save that kind of grunt work. However, it's important to do it yourself when getting started. And yeah, welcome guys. We got a good turnout. Lots of good questions coming in here, which is great. I'm gonna have a drink of water. Appreciate everybody hopping on. Let's see. We got another question. Okay, here we go. Questions and questions. Let's see. There's a tax sale September 9th. There are dozens of properties that you're interested in. What do you recommend narrowing it down? Okay, here's the easiest way to narrow down a list of these properties. If you can download the list, which they often have it in Excel, so you download it, you figure out how much money you have to bid. If you have 5,000 or 10,000, you sort it by opening bid, by highest to lowest, and literally just delete anything that's above 5,000. So then you're left with everything that you can bid on that sheet. And then the next step is you add a column in your spreadsheet where I labeled the cell spread. So what's the spread from the opening bid to the value of that property? And then I prioritize and execute on this. Okay, let's see here. Thanks for the answer. Appreciate everybody here. Good stuff. When I start to look for title on a property, if I go the day before the auction, yeah, like I would look probably a little more upstream than the day before. Now that being said, yeah, I would definitely. So basically the way that I do this is if it's a tax auction, I will start to keep an eye on it maybe a month out and see what's coming up, but the list is going to narrow drastically. So basically within the week before, I'm going to get really serious about seeing what's going on. I'm going to clean my list and be left with, more properties that I'm going to bid on. But as the week goes on, things are going to come off that list. Let's see here. Morgan, appreciate the support and everybody getting started in the business. Let's see here. Is it just me or did he blow off the title search question? I did come back to it. It's not that I blew you off. It's that I am extremely ADD. I'm all over the place. But thank you for calling me out and coming back to that. Now, on the channel, we have a really great interview. So in the game of tax liens and deeds, there's a company called Tax Title Services. I don't get a commission from them or anything, but they specialize in getting you clear title for tax liens and deeds. Now, when you guys buy at a tax lien or deed auction, the thing to keep in mind is if it's a cheap property, you can just quit claim deed the property to the next owner. However, if the property is expensive, $50, $60, $100,000, you'll want to use sometimes a company like Tax Title Services to get you a clear title, because when you buy at these sales, sometimes you'll have a quit claim deed. And if you're going to sell that to an end buyer who wants to put financing on it, the bank won't lend unless it's like a guarantee or a warranty deed on that property, which means all liens and encumbrances attached to it have been satisfied. Okay, so it's good to know that. Let's see. Cameron is saying you should stream a live auction. Yes, we have several coming up, and we will be streaming those as we go. Let's see here. We do have video. So I want to come back here to our screen. And once again, guys, if you're watching, do me a favor, hit the thumbs up, subscribe if you like this, ask a question if you're here. If you're watching the replay, you can do all that as well, which is great. And remember, everybody that's watching, you can grab this book to help you every single step of the way. I break it down meticulously. There is a link below in the description. You can just come here, enter your name and email. And if you want some one-on-one help as far as getting into the business, we can help you create a game plan. There's also a link there to schedule a call as well. It's in a little link tree. You'll see it. So we're coming back to this condo, right? And we got distracted. However, so this one, deposits 10 grand, starting bid is 50. Something like this is not too bad. You can go visit it here coming up Saturday and Sunday. So you can go and you can inspect it, which is great. Now, with this government seized property, what's cool is they're often, like, because they're seized, they're vacant, which means you can go and do a proper inspection on these properties. You can even hire somebody to get your own independent inspection on the property, which is great. Now, sometimes you'll see these opening bids are a little bit higher. So we want to check out this single family home here coming up, see what's going on. Starting bid on this one, 30,000 bucks. Okay, not bad. Cashier's deposit. Let's see here, 5,000 bucks. So something like this definitely piques my interest. Let me make sure the sound is working for the 90th time as we do this again. But coming back here, let's see, boom, boom. So something like this is very, very appealing, okay? Right off the gate, it's looking pretty good. Once again, basic research, okay? Mobile, Alabama, probably pretty close to where Forrest Gump was from. No, he's from Greenbow, Alabama. Okay, so we're going to come here. Okay, it's on Zillow, 146 grand. That's actually, man, that's a good price, hey? Would you look at something like this? Looks like there's some decent pictures of the property. 146,000 bucks. So far, from what I'm seeing from these pictures, not too bad. Not too bad at all as far as how this thing is looking. Okay, so who knows why this thing was seized, but something like this would definitely pique my interest as far as, where I'm at this stage in the game. I think to myself, yeah, 30,000 bucks. I would put this on the list. Now, is it 90% off? No. However, it is appealing to me because remember, if you have cash sitting around, if I can make 50, 60, 70, or what happens many times, if the opening bid on this thing's 30 and I buy it for 50, let's see what it rents for. Rentometer.com. So we use this site called Rentometer, which I've actually maxed out my my rent inquiries, but we're going to come over here. Sometimes I use a service called PropStream. Okay, so PropStream is, let's see. So PropStream is a tool that really allows you guys to get more of an insight into the property. And we're getting no data here. San Juan Drive mobile. I'm going to try removing the apostrophes here. See what's going on. No data. Okay, let's see what comes up. Okay, we can come back to that. I don't want to stall around too much with that. However, I do use PropStream to get more data, and I will come back to that and try to get it. But we're going to go and just go off some of the free resources here. Let's see. The man in the mirror is saying, is this really live? I don't know why people keep asking, is this really live? It's live. It's live, guys. Now, if you're watching this in the future and you've fast forwarded in life, maybe you're watching the replay. So regardless, do me a favor, hit the thumbs up, subscribe if you like this, ask a question in the comments. You can say is this live? I will always come back. I will always do my best to answer. Let's see. How is PropStream different from LandGlide? Well, LandGlide is going to tell you more of the zoning as far as looking at the GIS maps and giving you the overview for the property and the property lines and all that sort of stuff. PropStream will give you more of an in-depth look at values of the properties, comparables, and all that sort of stuff. So coming back here, where did we go? I wanted this property here. So we're looking at this one right now. Minimum deposit, 5,000 bucks. Starting bid, 30,000. The value on this thing is, where do we go here? Coming back. And guys, everything I'm doing right now is pretty simple and straightforward. However, let's look at the street view. Very important here. And remember, the golden rule is this is the initial analysis on the property. Okay. So we're looking Street View, December 2023. Not too bad. We're going to come back over here to this property. We can see here on the Street View, boom, boom. Where do we go? Okay, back to Zillow. Close the thing. So the Street View is not too bad, right? Decent neighborhood, not too bad. What I want, though, is I do want to look on PropStream and see if this thing will actually pull it up. Okay, here we go. So PropStream. 3616 San Juan Drive, Mobile, Alabama. So we're going to pull this thing up. PropStream is coming in. It's saying it's worth around 159 with comps in the area of around 146. All right. And remember, you don't need PropStream. There's like another tool called PropWire, which is also free. You can get a 7-day free trial with PropStream. Once again, I'm not, I don't get any checks from them. We just use that as an internal in our business to really just help us get some more information on this thing. 3-bed, 2-bath, not too bad. We can come down here. So this is definitely something that I'm interested in. So we have the monthly rent on this thing, right? $1,074 per month of rent. So this is definitely something that I'm interested in as far as an ROI, right? So we're coming over here. We're looking back on Zillow. Where did we go here? So if the opening bid is 30 on this property, right? And from here, if it's valued around 146, now these pictures look pretty good. However, what I would want to do is I would want to get some more up-to-date photos. Because remember the golden rule when you guys are in this game is you want recent pictures that have been basically organized and coordinated by you. Never, ever go off of these pictures I'm showing you offline if you're going to spend your hard-earned money. You want to spend a little bit of extra money, 30, 40, 50 bucks if you're doing it remotely to send somebody to go look at this property, right? So for me, out of the gate though, like this is pretty good due diligence as far as just seeing what's going on. Everything I'm seeing here looks pretty good, right? Now, the nice thing with these government seized price or properties is you can actually go and inspect it. So what I would do is, okay, something like this, even if I get it for 50 or 60 grand, I can rent it out for $1,000 a month, which is a great ROI, right? And don't let that discourage you. If you're watching this and you only have a couple grand, we have tons of videos on this channel that show you guys how to get super cheap properties for a couple $100 that you can flip and get to this point, right? So when you've flipped enough property, 80, 90% below market value, and you have a couple $100 grand in the bank, there's nothing wrong with paying $50,000 for a property that's worth 150. We'll do that stuff all day long. You can rent it out for residual income and be in great shape on this thing. And then we can just look at the property gallery here and see what the difference is. Does it say the date of the pictures? It does not here. So we want to look at the flyer for the property, see what's up, get some details. We're going to check our sound as it is holding up. And welcome everybody as these details load. Let's see here. Okay, the property sheet is still loading. The flyer, we're going to look at it. We'll give that a second to load, and then I'll come back. And remember, I do get distracted with ADD. So let me answer a couple questions here. Let's see. Morgan is saying, can you go into detail as far as the steps to make a bid on this property? Yeah, so we're looking into that here right now. This sheet is loading super slow in the meantime. So what I like to do, obviously, is just kind of like a day in the life of like getting into this business, right? I like to come on here, show everybody where these properties are. The next step is you can get the guidebook below, which has like meticulous step-by-step instructions for documenting your whole process going through this. But this is like, this is the initial hook in the water, right? This is us coming. I'm showing you the pond to fish through. I got a lot of analogies today. We throw the hook in. We get something on the hook. It looks good. But, when you're fishing, I'm not really a fisherman, but I know that if you want to keep a fish, sometimes you got to measure the length and check it. So my job here today is to help you guys get something on the hook and then provide the rest of the details as far as if you want to go further and see if this thing is something that you want to put in the net, serve up for dinner. Okay. So I'm coming back here. Okay, here's the property sheet. So we want to do the due diligence on this. We can zoom in a little bit. So something like this, Mobile, Alabama, 2-level, let's see, 3-bedroom home. Okay, not too bad. Not too bad. Starting bid, $30,000. You need a deposit of $5,000. Nothing wrong with that. And then these pictures here. So terms of the sale, right? So this is all stuff that you want to be very, very familiar with as far as just getting familiar with the terms as what's going on, when to register. Okay, if you're a new bidder, you have to create an account, go to the login, sign up. You need a $5,000 deposit, right? We're checking into that. We're learning the rules, which is super important. Okay. Which is great. So unsuccessful deposits will be mailed back, backup bidders, property inspections. So go and read this stuff as far as planning your maximum bids, see what's going on. People spend so much time of their lives on Netflix and just wasting time. And, you know, I do enjoy a good Netflix show, but just spend a little bit of time getting familiar with this business and you can make a lot of money, right? And this is really what I do, except now, you know, I have a team of people. We go, we research it, and then I obviously do the final bids, but this is how to get started step by step. And I just realized I wasn't showing my darn screen. Man, no matter how often I try to do this, I always screw something up. So I was just showing this and I realized that I wasn't showing my screen. So we wanted to go through this and see what's going on as far as I was showing you guys. You want to get familiar with these rules. You want to print it out and get familiar with it. So I wasn't showing the screen. However, it's pretty straightforward. And the name of the game is to buy these houses, to buy them cheap. And until you really get out of the gate and do this stuff, I know it seems like such a foreign concept and impossible and too good to be true and all this sort of stuff. But what you'll find is once you get into it, you know, especially if you see somebody get a good deal, you go, you attend, and you scoop up these properties. Like on the channel, I have plenty of videos showing you guys how to start dirt cheap, buying cheap property and flipping and building and going up. So here we go. Let's see here. A couple more questions. If I find a smoking deal on a tax deed over the counter list, would you fund the deal and split the profits? So here's the thing, guys. I partner on deals. However, the challenge with partnering on tax lien deed properties is there's so many coming up. Okay. So like if you have the property under contract, that's a little different. Or if you win the bid. So for example, like in Philly, okay, you put down 10% and then you can actually assign the winning bid, right? Because here's where the chain breaks is because when you go to a tax deed sale, there's like 50 to 100 properties. You narrow it down to 20. And the only way is to pay like in your name, right? So I'm just trusting my cash. You know, obviously I doubt you're going to run away with it, but that's why it's hard for me to give my cash to somebody like that as far as that goes. However, if you have something under contract or, you know, like earlier, there was a apartment complex, stuff like that, that we can get under contract as well is stuff that we're interested on, which is good. Let's see. So, yeah, guys, appreciate everybody hopping on in the game here today. And once again, like if you want some help, if you want some one-on-one help, every single month we bring on a few people. We do coaching, we do mentoring. It's a great win-win. It can save you several years of trial and error. We can show you where to go, what to do, what not to do. And a lot of people like it. They get in, many people start getting deals in the first, 7 days sometimes when they come in. So there's a link below in the description if you are interested in any type of perhaps coaching and mentoring and things like that. And, like I was saying earlier, it's obviously a great business. It's a win-win, right? Lots of people bring us deals as far as that goes. And if you don't, in the description, this is all you need to get started. Everything you need here is here to get going. We have the directory. All of that is in the description below, as well as I took all this stuff back in the day, put the DVDs on demand for you. So they're really good. They're old school, but it's the foundation of this business. All of that is in the description below. Once again, someone's saying here, I want to chat with the team. So that's pretty straightforward. in the link below. You'll click the description. You'll go to a page like this. And from here, just schedule a call. Select a time that works good with you. You'd speak with either me or one of my senior directors, and then we can help you guys get started and really build you a personalized game plan. If that's something that you're interested in, that's in the description. If not, not a big deal. I have tons of information, tons of free. I'm not gatekeeping anything here as far as that goes. Like, some people are like, yeah, you guys, you gurus. I never got into this to be a guru. I really enjoy doing it. And that's why we're here. I think there's like 3,000 videos or 2,900 and some. I think we're going to hit 3,000 videos on this channel here this month. So, clearly I enjoy doing it. I appreciate everybody here showing up. And I'll be back. We got some good videos coming out this week. So hit the thumbs up, subscribe. I really appreciate everybody here, and we'll do our best. Go get some deals. That's what time it is. Go get some deals. Let me know how you're making out. We'll see you guys in the next one.